What has happened is that a substantial section of the chavs have become black. The whites have become black. A particular sort of violent, destructive, nihilistic gangster culture has become the fashion.
She asked me if I had any weapons on me. She was asking like she was suspicious of me, not like she wanted to help.
Every day you see people walking about, drinking can or bottle in hand, swearing their heads off, and these are just the kids. Gang culture is a major problem. I mean, just imagine if those riots had the brains to get together and for an army. We would have to call in the army. All you have to do is open a paper and some kid has been stabbed or beaten, blacks, Asians as well as white people. Why? Because we allow it. Like we have allowed all of this to happen. When will someone stop the damage being done to this country? How many elderly people die each year because of the rising fuel costs, or people are unable to get a hospital bed because the hospitals have poor funding?
I know now that in their police statement, the police said I broke the window in the first office. I didn't. I wasn't even in the first office. It just shows they were treating me like a criminal and not like a victim.
The London riots. People say it started because of the shooting of Mark Duggan in Tottenham. This may be the truth, but I think it goes deeper than this. People's anger has been building for a long time. From low employment, benefit cuts, higher education fees, seeing the rich get richer and the poor getting poorer. The young are getting left out. The shooting of Mark Duggan by police was the last straw. People had to fight back. The only way for people to get noticed or to be listened to is to riot. The way it happened, like petrol bombs and looting, was taking it a bit too far. But they were angry. But it wasn't just the poor. There was a millionaire's daughter rioting as well. This was just young people standing up for their rights and wanting changes. But I don't see it happening anytime soon. But the way things are now, I see a lot more riots happening.
Black culture. Now this is the important thing. It's not skin colour, it's cultural. Listen to David Lammy, an archetypical, successful black man. Now if you were to turn the screen off, so you were listening to him just on the radio, you would think that he was white.
I drove them out to Brownhope, 6 miles out of Leeds. Along the way, Kitching made David bang his head on the floor of the van. 6 miles back from the middle of nowhere. I couldn't ask for directions because people just stared at me like I was some sort of animal. Who should have been afraid? Me or them?
This week, this whole notion that this is down to the way that some young people may choose to speak, that people, I suppose, that people, David, like myself, who may be talking a particular way, that's why we've got... You don't talk like them. It's a them. This is the problem. It's a them and us culture. We can't keep thinking of this as a them and us argument. We keep talking about different communities. You keep talking, David, about black culture. Black communities are not homogenous groups. So
I'm going to say it. I'm going to say what everyone else is beating around the bush trying not to say. England is no longer a white country. Surprise! The ratio of blacks and Asians is the same as white people. Some people don't like this. They're stuck in their old ways of how society used to be. But before there were more races in this country, we had exactly the same amount of crime. But it was committed by white people. But because they were white people, we didn't put them in a category like we would with blacks or Asians. It's not that black culture has taken over. It's the fact that a new culture has arrived. A culture where people are actually fighting back because they know the system doesn't work. A man who gets put in jail for 40 years for illegally uploading films and music to the internet. Next to a man who has killed a child and only gets put away for 20. It's time people started noticing that the way this country is run and how the legal system just doesn't work. Yeah, it's better than most countries, but it could still be better. We have to live in this country. We should have a choice. And that is exactly what those riots were about. Looting was just a part of it, but it seems to be the main thing that everyone concentrates on because they don't want to look at the truth and see with their eyes wide open why this is really happening. This country needs to wake up and listen to the people of Britain. Otherwise, nothing will get better, and we will have definitely not seen the last of this rioting.
I want you to say a couple of things, but I want you to act as a character. Your character will be an 18-year-old young black male. Think about how you would act, how you would walk, how you would talk. Then I want you to ask your friends what character they think you are.